Hello and welcome to lesson 6G. I can use appropriate ratios to find the area and perimeter of similar figures. All right, guys, so I want us first to do an exploration of two figures to try to draw some conclusions about similarity in similar figures. So real quick, here I've given you two similar triangles, and I want you first to find the missing sides. So go ahead now, pause your video, and find the missing sides. All right, you should have gotten 10 for the hypotenuse of the smaller triangle and 9 for the shorter side of the larger triangle. All right, now let's take a look at our smaller triangle. These are right triangles, so I added our right angle into the corner, and my perimeter of the smaller triangle is going to be 24, while my area, which again is 1/2 base times height, is going to be 1/2 base of 8, height of 6, that ends up being 24, so 24. While my perimeter of my larger triangle ends up being 36, and my area ends up being 1/2 base times height, or 1/2, 9 times 12, which gets me 54. Yes. Okay, 54, goodness gracious. All right, now, let's do this now. Let's look at the ratio of the perimeters. If I do my ratio of perimeters, my small over large, that's 24 over 36. Well, those reduce, 12 goes into both, so I get 2/3. Whereas if I look at the ratio of my areas, well, the ratio of my area is 24 over 54. 6 goes into both, and I get 4 over 9. If you look, it looks like we squared this ratio to get to this ratio. And furthermore, my scale factor, if I just take two sides, I'm going to take the 8 and the 12, the two given sides, my scale factor ends up being 2/3 as well. Well, what this means is that if I have a scale factor of A over B, then the ratio of my perimeters is the same as the scale factor. It's still A over B. But the ratio of my areas is actually going to be A squared over B squared. And that's going to help us solve missing values. So let's take a look at this question here. Miss Rob is enlarging photographs for her wall. She wants the side lengths of the new photo to be 3 times the lengths of the sides of the old photo. How many times larger is the perimeter of the new photo? How many times larger is the area? So if I'm making something 3 times as long on the sides, then my scale factor is going to be 3 to 1, right? Which is my A over B, which means that my perimeter is also going to have a ratio of 3 over 1, while my area is going to have a ratio of 3 squared over 1 squared, or 9 over 1. So that means that my perimeter is going to be 3 times as large as the original, while my area is going to be 9 times as large as the original. All right, guys, that's the end of this lesson. The next lesson is going to pick up in a very similar spot and a very similar concept. So if this doesn't make complete sense to you yet, my recommendation is go ahead and watch the next video, and I think it will all start to click. All right, guys, take a look at the MML, and we'll see you in class.